I, 35F, feel like I almost have an obligation to leave my husband, 34M, after catching him cheating again. But I still love him and am so much happier with him than without him. What should I do? I got married at 32 Marlon after dating for 2 years. I knew Marlon was a flawed guy. He drank a lot, not quite alcoholism levels, but still more than he should. He did medication, he slept around a lot, he sometimes got into fights etc. and yet I still fell for him, hard. He was so different with me than he was with other people, and I just fell madly in love with him, and still am in love with him. He runs a bar with his cousin. He is a pretty muscular guy, and I am very well aware that girls are flirting with him non-stop at the bar. I've seen it with my own eyes. I always hoped he would never ever be tempted to sleep with him the way his co-workers did, but last year I found out from a friend that he did sleep with one of the girls. It hurt to find out, a lot. Some part of me almost knew that it was happening but didn't want to think about it. I left him for 3 to 4 weeks, almost out of a sense of obligation and pressure that I had to leave him, and I was miserable. We ended up getting past it, and he promised me that he would never do it again. I was upset. But this was some random girl at a bar. It wasn't like he had a whole relationship on the side, which I feel would have hurt so much more. He got an STD test, and just to be sure, even though he used a wrapper, we continued the STD tests just because some STDs can take a while to show up. 3 nights ago, I had to use his computer for something, and he had Facebook open, with the messenger tab showing that a girl was talking to him. She said she wanted to go meet him someplace and he responded saying that it was a silly one-time thing and he regretted sleeping with her because he is married and that he's sorry if he ever made her think it was more than one night. Those messages were from around 8 weeks ago, but she had sent him messages after that on and off trying to get his attention, including that night when I opened the computer. So, he cheated on me, again. I haven't even brought this up to him. The idea of it just makes my head hurt. I really like this guy. Like, love is one thing, you don't have to even like someone to love them, but I actually genuinely like this guy. He makes me happy, he makes me laugh, he makes my day better to be around him. And I love him. Part of me almost doesn't even give a damn if he slept with some girl at the bar. That is the worst part. I feel almost like there is some obligation for me to be more furious than I am over this. An obligation that I have to leave him. Am I mad? Yes, and I don't want this to continue. But I just almost feel like I don't care nearly as much as people expect me to care. I feel like there's this pressure that you absolutely have to leave upon finding out about cheating, and I just hate that. What would my friends and family think if I stayed with him after finding out he cheated again? I don't want to bring this up and not get mad enough because I am afraid he is going to view it as a free pass to cheat. I also don't want to be some kind of wife who just constantly looks the other way to her husband cheating like Carmela in The Sopranos. I love this guy, I really do. I know I've painted our relationship as such a mess and that he is a bad guy, but we actually are happy and have an amazing time for like 99% of the relationship. He's basically just made my life a joy, and I can't imagine anyone else making me this happy. When I left him the first time for those 3 to 4 weeks, I was miserable, and the only thing I could think about was that I really wanted him back. I know this would happen if I left him this time. I know I would regret it. Is he a bad guy? Well, kind of, yes. He is irresponsible and he has terrible judgment. Has gotten better since when we knew each other in our 20s, but I am aware of his problems. I am just so stuck. Do I just let this slide? Never bring it up and hope he doesn't do it again? Try not to think about it? If I am not even going to leave him, why even bring it up? What is even the point? TL, doctor, caught my husband cheating again. I don't want to leave him, but I am not sure what to do. Hi guys, I promise to love you if you like, comment, and subscribe. Look, stay if you want to. If you think you can't live without him. But he will cheat again. And again. And again. Forgiving him again just tells him that there are no consequences to his behavior. You might think you're okay with it now, but what about in 5 years and you catch him cheating again? Or 15 years and he's still out there cheating on you? 25 years? How long do you think you can turn a blind eye before it absolutely crushes you? If you genuinely do not have massive negative feelings around his cheating, you could always consider opening up the marriage and allowing romantic encounters on the side as long as both of you are honest with each other. It is worth considering. Should I be mad at my husband for inappropriately messaging his friend? My husband 27 and I 22 have been a little rocky lately. I have a problem with one of his friends that are a girl because she constantly disrespects me and our relationship. He told me 2 weeks ago that he was going to stop being close to her and only hang out when she's out their mutual friend's house. He says he can't cut her out because of this mutual friend. So tonight I went on his phone to read only their messages in hopes of getting a peace of mind. Instead, I found a ton of what I would consider be extremely inappropriate messages with her. He was sending her recorded romance stuff, saying they should go camping together and she can keep him warm, they call just to talk to each other, and that they hang out way more than he tells me. He hung out with her all day for like 4 days in a row recently and lied and told me he was with someone else. They have been going to lunch together and he even took her up on the mountain overlooking the whole city. Super romantic. I had no idea they did any of those things. Found a lot of times he completely lied to me and told me he was with other friends but was really with her. He invited her to go sit with him while getting tattoos, to the protests, and swimming, and never invited me to do those things. He has been telling me that he only hangs out with her if she's at the mutual friend's house while he's there, and that he never hits her up to hang out. Which turned out to be a complete lie after reading those texts. So, I guess I need confirmation that those are extremely inappropriate things and that I should be mad. Also need advice as to what you do or say to him. He knows I'm mad and doesn't care. And this isn't the only thing that's happened with her. She's super disrespectful towards me and our relationship. She talks him into not coming home a lot. Calls to just hang with my husband all the time. Was going to go the lake and get silly with just her and her girlfriend. Etc. TL. Doctor caught my husband messaging his friend inappropriately, found out he lied to me tons of times, and says he can't cut her out because they have a mutual friend. What should I do? Mate, he is cheating on you. It's not just inappropriate messaging at this point, he is cheating on you and lying to you. I'd leave him. Life is already stressful enough without a cheating, disloyal spouse ruining your joy and stealing your self-confidence and sanity. I, 33F, am afraid I was too lenient with my fiance, 32M, after he revealed he cheated on me near the beginning of our relationship. I basically told him I don't care to make him feel less guilty. I met him when we were 24 and 25. He was a bartender and I knew he was a bit of a promiscuous guy. He was a hot dude, he still is of course lol, but back then he worked out every day, and worked at a bar with a lot of young hot women, so it made sense. I always sort of had it in the back of my head that he was probably sleeping with some of the girls at the bar in the beginning. I just couldn't bring it to myself to care much, even when I felt like I probably should. Of course, this was all hush-hush, we never talked about it and I never brought it up to him. I honestly didn't ever want to find out or hear it from him. We moved to the suburbs and are getting married. It's been a long engagement because of the pandemic. Around 4 weeks ago, he asked me to sit down and said he had something he needed to tell me. He said that in the first year that we dated, there were a few situations where he was really silly and high at his job and he got a mouth romance from some girls. In one situation he slept with a girl. He said he had promised himself only mouth romances, due to STD fears, and that when he broke that vow and got blackout wasted and slept with the girl, he just said no more to everything and stopped partying after hours. I actually directly remember that. He told me he was gonna stop going to the parties and stop drinking so much, but he told me for health reasons, albeit some part of me knew it was something else. I've been to the after-hours parties at his bar. They were basically drugged-out orgies, like something from Studio 54. Just a bunch of sleazy buff guys with young women crawling all over them and a lot of cocaine. Again, to me, knowing he was at those parties, I wasn't surprised he was doing stuff. When he told me, he looked visibly upset and guilty. I mean, he is a very different person than when he was 25. I just sort of hushed him and said it's okay, I know, I expected it, I don't care, I don't care, and then for whatever reason I said you don't have to feel bad about it, it's okay. And he was sort of like, wait, really? And I jokingly said that it wasn't hard to imagine that happening considering how that bar was. I almost right away regretted it. It's absolutely true that I don't care much. But the fact is that he didn't know what I didn't care. I didn't just forgive him, I almost made it seem as if he had nothing to be forgiven for. I feel stupid, almost like I gave him some kind of free ticket for cheating. I am afraid that now he thinks I don't care at all about cheating in general, which isn't really true. I could understand the context of him at the bar with the situation that was in to an extent. But God, he was 25 and we were both crazy party people. Now we are in our 30s and living in the suburbs. I do want to confront this topic again with him, but it literally feels so weird and wrong. Like, hey, remember how you cheated and I forgave you? Well, I still forgive you, but also that's bad and do that? That just sounds so weird. How do I talk to him about this? TL, doctor, I forgave my boyfriend for cheating on me, but I feel like I was too lenient. I think you should just tell him that you have been thinking about your reaction to his revelations, and that you want to backtrack a bit. It's not okay, it was wrong, and if it happened now, with your relationship more developed and the presumed maturity of age, it would be a deal breaker. But that it was the past, and you were in a rodent place, and you forgive him,